Hello, beautiful ones. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, it's Viv. Is anybody there? Say hi in the chat. I feel like my hair's a little wild today. Oh my goodness, how are you guys? Welcome if you're watching in the replay. Welcome, welcome. It's live. It's an Ask Viv. And I'll be sharing about some herbal formulas that I am currently using and why I like them, why I think they're good, and taking your questions relative to that. So say hi in the chat. Hang on here. Let me switch over to see your comments, questions. Yeah, say hello. Let me know who's here. Guys, I was up till 2 in the morning last night. And then I did not fall asleep right away. So I'm not staying on too long today, okay? But I wanted to do my live like I am usually here on Sundays. And yeah, I wanted to just continue that, be steady, not be erratic, not be like the the artist with their head in the clouds. There we go. There's some of my paintings. I've been painting more. I'm going to show you guys some small ones as well, and then we'll be talking about some herbs. Am I the only one whose glasses just like get filthy? I don't even know like why, and then cat hair. It's not like I'm like off-roading or something with a dirt bike or anything. Hi, Bevlin. The reading space. Hello. Hello, hello. Hi, reading space. Thank you. Thank you. I just have like a really tiny amount of foundation, just like natural level. I'm not going to a party. I'm not going to a gala. I'm not going to Met Gala. Okay. So that is it. I don't even nothing on the eyebrows or anything. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Welcome. Who's here? Who else is here? So in the meantime, just 1 minute before I start talking about the herbs. Yeah, I've been painting more. So this was, whoops. Yeah, there's the dyslexia. That was my first one. This one. Probably in about a year. Some of you who've been, whoops. Some of you who've been following the channel for a while know my backstory. So I hadn't painted for maybe even 2 years. I was pleased with that. But then I kept going because clouds are a thing. And then I did, wait, whoops. That one. Wait for it. Yeah, this one. I really love. And then I've done these small, hold on. I've done these. Oh my gosh, guys. Sorry, I am so dyslexic. There we go. I've done these tiny ones that you can kind of see on the side. I'm going to give up because obviously many very smart people are dyslexic. Oh my Lord. Lot of mercy. Okay, here we are. So Donna, glass half full. Hi, glass half full. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good. I think if it's Australia, it's the next day. I'm not even sure. So how are you guys doing? Seriously. And also, my last 2 videos are doing really well. Do check them out. I have the last one I put out was, I did this whole affirmations thing. It really came out nice. Do give it a comment or a thumbs up. In fact, let me tell you the title. Hold on. It's really, really good. It's like Goddess Affirmations. Hang on 1 second. Let me go to my own channel. And you're probably going to hear a reverb here for a second. Hold on. Yeah. It's called Affirmations, just for Goddess Energy Manifest. I talked about love, prosperity, and beauty. You guys check that out if you haven't already. It's doing really, really well. It's gotten over 1,000 views and it's just 2 days old. Do check it out. It's only 24 minutes. Let me know also if you want me to make a longer one. Let me know by commenting under that video, the Goddess Manifest Love, Wealth, and Beauty. It's doing really well. And I also previously had this womb healing meditation and to release trauma, release blockages. And I've gotten great feedback on that. I'm looking at the picture right now. Got this, she's sexy on the front. She's in a pink bikini. I think she's called the Black Barbie. I don't know. There are pictures that you're free to use. So that's why, sometimes I choose certain pictures because they're available. So she's there and it says body and womb relaxation. It has a flower and it's a really nice meditation. So check that out. It starts with a body relaxation because, as I say, some people on YouTube, you guys, really have a very short attention span. So they want this womb healing meditation. But if your body is tense, you're not going to be able to relax your womb. You're not going to be able to feel the energy. So I'm talking to you guys. You probably know this if you're watching me now. You probably have patience. So, but check that out, the womb healing meditation. Let me know with a yes if you have watched it already. I start with a full body relaxation. And then once you're really relaxed, we go into the womb healing. So I'm really proud of that one. That one's almost at 2,000 views. So I'm really happy that people like that one, that you like that one. So check those two out. So let me come back now to the right screen. See who else is here. Hi, Thomasine. Yes. Hello, Halima. Hi, Halima. And let's see, everybody else, I think I had said hi to before. Yes, yes, yes. So I'll put up the chat. I love using this particular StreamYard because I can put your chats up. Guys, also, I want to be able, I might do some member only live streams. And so if you really like my channel, and I know a lot of you do, please consider becoming a member. This is my plea, like PBS, okay, that YouTube, I'm not one of those YouTubers making it's ridiculous. They're not that many making $1 million a year or whatever, or 5 figures a month or anything like that. So if you like the channel, your support is really vital to make it sustainable, for me to keep going, creating videos for you. I'm just closing some screens, you guys, and then I'm gonna, do you take any herbs right now? Let me know in the chat while I'm closing up some screens so I don't get like any funky connection here. Let me close. Funky, I don't want a funky connection. Funky. We don't want funky. We don't want a funky connection. Oh my God, I have a million things open. What herbs do you guys take? Do you take any herbal formulas? Let me know while I'm closing some odd little pop-ups that are happening on my computer, so I don't lose you guys. Yeah, let me know what herbs do you take. I'm going to talk about 3 herbs today that I use, and just maybe to keep track of for the future, even if you don't take any herbs right now. Okay. I'm going to show them to you. Oh, that's good, Bevlin. Well, I'm glad you said that. I don't need to. I think that, like therapy, we probably almost always need some herbal support, just the way that I believe that most people need therapy, because I'm the same way that like a good therapist is someone who supports you, nurtures you, helps you just like navigate your life better. I feel like the right herbs can actually do that, if that makes sense. And also to that point, in a lot of traditional cultures, especially if they have an established herbal tradition, people like say in their 50s and 60s do take herbs, or they have it in their food regularly, okay, to help them age well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Yes. Rhodiola. Okay. Happy Sunday. Okay, yeah, rhodiola. Anybody else? Just share in the chat if you do take any herbs, and not that you're necessarily taking them now. You may not be. I'm going to jump in with one herb I wanted to show you, and so these are things I actually have the bottle. You can hear the bottle's not totally full. So this is something I take. It's called Triphala or Triphala. Okay. And so I want to tell you what each herb is about. I'm just going to do 3 today that I happen to have, or at least also have the bottle for. Okay. Triphala, you guys, is really, it has a history of thousands of years, and it is usually used even daily. Okay. Of course, I'm not a doctor. Check with your doctor, especially if you have any health condition. Absolutely. But Triphala it says detoxification and rejuvenation. So you can see TRI, try. It's made of 3 herbs. So Triphala. Sorry, guys, I seem to be cutting out. Yeah, I don't know. There's a storm actually coming to my area, so that's probably gonna happen. So Triphala, what is it for? It is for toning the digestive tract. So what do I mean by that? and thus it helps your whole body. So what I mean by that is, don't think of it as like a laxative. Don't think of like the Western ways we think of medicine. It's not a laxative per se. It helps to clean out though and tone the digestive tract. So it basically helps you to digest your food better, but it's also not in the class of like, like yogurt and things like probiotics. It's an herbal formula that basically helps you to digest better. It helps you to eliminate cleanly, helps to keep the colon and the whole digestive system working. And as a result of that, it is said to help the respiratory system, all of your body. And yeah, guys, I see that I'm having a little bit of the Wi-Fi trouble. Let me just see if I can close one more thing. If I cut off, I will try to come right back. Let me just see if there's anything else I can close. So have you ever heard of Triphala? If you've never heard of it before, let me know, because, I kind of, it's hard for me to know how much my community overall knows about herbs. This is an Ayurvedic herb, so it has a history that is, thousands of years old in terms of being used. And of course, I like Ayurveda and also traditional Chinese medicine because the written history of it is so long. Of course, every traditional culture has often its own herbs. They're local, right? But because both of these cultures also, they spanned a really large area, and over thousands of years they documented. So this was the Indian form of medicine. And so it's called Ayurveda. And as I said, this herb is generally considered safe. It's used daily in households in India. Again, helpful with weight loss too, because it's toning your digestive system and your eliminatory system, and as a result has an effect throughout your whole body. It's usually taken once or twice a day with warm water. And again, it also, because of the name it has 3 tastes. I think it's 3 tastes. It may have more than that. It may cover every single taste that the body needs. There's a whole theory about that, which I can explain, but I'm not an herbalist, so I can't go super in depth. But this is something you might want to try if you feel that you have a lot of bloating, you have a lot of digestive issues, you have issues with feeling like you eliminated completely, and also with like things like fatigue, things like that. This can help, the Triphala. That's what I have found, and you can read more about it. What I've done is below this video, you guys, not in the comments, but under the video, you can see, and I do have links to them. I buy them and I recommend them, and I'm affiliate for them for Banyan. The next one I want to tell you about, and if you have a question, I'll go back at the end. So detoxification and rejuvenation, and I felt it, like absolutely. You start to feel like really kind of clean, bloating goes down. Don't think of it as like a fat burner, because I don't want to like have you think of it in certain ways that may not be what it is. It's really like a tonic working through your digestive system primarily, and thus, as I said, having an effect on all of your system, respiratory, everything, reproductive, because as you know, holistic systems say a lot of the reproductive issues we have, which I've been focused on lately, and actually for years, but I just haven't talked about much on my channel. A lot of the reproductive issues are when we have like a lot of free-floating estrogen. We're not breaking down what we take into our body, whether toxins or food. We're not breaking it down, and instead we're storing it, and then that leads to imbalances. So Triphala just works nicely in just keeping us generally, especially our bowels, healthy. Okay. I think I'll do questions at the end. Oh, you've never heard of it? Okay. No, for over 20 years, this isn't new stuff. Like I really didn't just like, oh, I found this company and I'm going to like tell you guys and like sell their stuff. I've been using Banyan for probably about 20 years. And Ayurveda is a system very much, it's the sister science of yoga. So it's the same, Ayurveda is more about health, body, mind, system. It's based on a tridoshic system, and I may make a video about that. Many people on my channel don't watch these type of videos because you haven't heard of it. You've heard of the chakras, but you haven't heard of this, and it's equally powerful. Okay, have you heard of Deepak Chopra? Who's heard of Deepak Chopra? He brought Ayurveda to the West like 20-something years ago. And so maybe it just hasn't gotten to all communities. But yeah, it's really, really good. It's very powerful and it's very sophisticated. It's much more sophisticated than Western herbalism. Absolutely. What I don't recommend, goddesses, and I see a lot of us doing this, is we'll get excited about one herb, or the Western media is like, okay, so like turmeric. Turmeric is wonderful, for example, but it has certain effects, like it might be heating or it might increase bleeding, and certain, like, every herb has a, it's better to work with them in a formula, and this is a formula, right? And it's been used for thousands of years. So formulas, I really believe, and in my experience, seeing other people researching, formulas tend to be safer. What I mean by formulas is multiple herbs together to balance each other out, okay? Because when you take one herb, often it can have a particular side effect that you may not be aware of. So let's go on to the next one. The next one that I'm taking is mental clarity. I love this. I love this one, mental clarity. So, I think this is a trickier one to talk about because, when you notice like your mind is foggy, or you're having to study a lot, like you guys know, I am self-studying a language. I decided to try and take this. I have found it helpful, and it says promotes memory, and it's going to sound funny, and intelligence. Okay, so how? Let me just tell you what some of the herbs are. Gotu kola, which you may have heard of. Gotu kola. It's it's called Brahmi. It's an herb for the mind. Bacopa, many others, passion flower, ashwagandha, skullcap. You probably have heard of skullcap. It has pepper, it has cardamom. Those little things, the pepper, the cardamom, for example, you're like, well, that's a spice. It is a spice, but certain spices like that help you to digest, okay? So just to kind of give you some information on it. I have felt this when I'm taking this regularly, I am able to study and do better when I quiz myself. So this is called mental clarity. Whoops. So again, especially if maybe you're in your 50s, 60s, or you could be younger and feeling like, your memory is not as sharp as you would like, I would recommend the mental clarity. It has been really wonderful. Yeah, I definitely feel the benefits of that. So that's mental clarity. And I have one more. Mm-hmm. Yes, tridosha. Oh, great. Okay, so you've heard of this. Yeah. That's very unusual reading space to be fully tridoshic. And I don't want to lose people because they'll be like, what is she talking about? And I get all nerdy. But goddesses, I do have, like I said, below the video, I have a link, but I didn't tell you what it is. The link is to take a dosha test. So thank you, reading space. A dosha is your type, your body-mind type, okay? Remember, like in the 90s and maybe the thousands, there was like this, ectomorph, mesomorph. It's much more sophisticated in Ayurveda. I have literally been able to type people, and then you can literally tell how they're going to act. Okay, I know this sounds weird. Part of it, I think, is my own intuition, but there are 3 different types: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And then there are blends. And so this young woman here is saying, I have all 3 doshas. We all have all 3. Tridosha means you're pretty balanced in all 3, which is actually very unusual. It's more common that we're one type. We have a primary and then we have a secondary. So tridoshic is very unusual. In some ways, it can be harder to balance, actually, to be tridoshic. So the final herb formula that I want to tell you about today, and then I'll take any questions, is one that I think a lot of you could benefit from, and it's called Stress Ease. Okay, Stress Ease. And again, the links are right below the video. So this one says, balancing formula for coping with stress and fatigue. Now, coming out of COVID, right, and the stresses we're all under, elections, hearings, violence, so much, just economic issues. If you have the money, this would be worth investing in. It's about $22 or $24, and it typically lasts you about a month. Stress Ease has herbs like ashwagandha, which I mentioned and was in the other. Ashwagandha, think of it as like a ginseng. It also has an herb goddess that's important for women called Shatavari. I love this. I love telling you what Shatavari means. I think the translation exactly is she who has 1,000 husbands. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you like that name. She who has either 1,000 or 100 husbands. Yes. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of Shatavari? Let me know. Let me know. I like putting up high vintage Sims. Yes, yes to Deepak. Thank you, Donna. Yes. So some of us, maybe haven't heard of him, but he is a regular Western doctor who I went back into this tradition that, as I said, is very detailed, thousands of years of testing of it. And and that's what he does now. Like Deepak Chopra, he's like meditation and all of this spiritual stuff. But he started out as a Western doctor. So ladies, trust me, stress ease. Ashwagandha it's a tonic, it builds you up so you can deal with stress. You absolutely will feel it. But what's important and why I like the stress ease is it also has Shatavari, the she who has 1,000 husbands, meaning it tones our reproductive system and gives us that energy, but also just that health that, that's how they are expressing it, that she can have 1,000 husbands. Okay. Let me put this up. I'm pretty Vata Pitta. Yes. Oh, you took the quiz? Oh, nice, Donna. I am Pitta Vata. I'm Pitta Vata. Let me know, those of you who are watching, because I know I lost some people, plus my thing kept cutting out a little bit. But those watching in the replay, you can say in the comments, let me know if you'd like me to do a video on the 3 types. So yes, Vata Pitta, very common, Pitta Vata. As I mentioned, we're typically one type is higher, like that's normal. You're one type, you're like a kapha with maybe a little vata and a little pitta. It's very rare to be evenly tridoshic. So I'm really interested. The woman who said that she was tridoshic. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tahira. Yeah, guys, and leave if you do feel that way. Please, 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 when the video is finished, leave a yes in the comments, because that helps the video be seen. And it's just a way to support the channel that is easy for you to do. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me tell you what else is in the stress ease, but the ashwagandha and the shatavari are the 2 main things. And what do I mean by that? In terms of, one is kind of the yang. The ashwagandha is like a yang tonic. It's warming, it's heating, it's strengthening of a certain type of energy. And the shatavari is like the feminine, the yin tonic. And so this has both. So I like that balance. And I'll go to cola again, which helps the mind primarily. Amla fruit, which is one of the things in this. It's very high in antioxidants. The things that are in the Triphala, you guys, are one of the highest sources of vitamin C in existence. I'm so glad I remember that. That's in the Triphala. So very antioxidant. I have a little of that in here. They have ginger. Again, why is ginger in here? Ginger, as many of you know, has wonderful benefits, but it also helps to catalyze the other herbs. Ginger, because of its fiery, warming nature, it's like a little boost to the other herbs. So I really highly recommend this. Again, I'd love it if you use the links that I have, because I am an affiliate. And as an affiliate, get a small amount for referring you at no cost to you. So do use my links if you're interested, or even just taking the test. So those are 3 herbs that I really recommend. One for the mind, the mental clarity. Like I said, if you're getting older and you feel your memory is not as sharp as it was, this really works. I tell you, it really works. I take this daily. Or if you're younger and you're studying a lot, maybe you're in med school or you're in law school, a family member of mine was, I would have told her, take this. The Triphala, again, for the digestive system, but it affects the whole body by allowing you to assimilate better. And then if you're stressed at all, dealing with a job that is toxic, like many of us, right? Or just under a lot of stress and you want to stay healthy, the stress ease. So those are my 3 recommendations. I'm going to take any questions that you have, and it can be about anything. I'll start with the ones with this Ayurveda. Okay. Bevlin, no, not that I have seen. Again, this is why I use formulas, right? A lot of people like to talk about, or they'll show you a picture of like one herb. When the herbs are in a formula that is a traditional form of Bevlin, they are put together to balance each other. It's almost like, it's a weird analogy. You know how you could have like two friends. One's like more quiet, right? And one's like really talkative and kind of bossy, and one's quiet, and they're really friends. In the same way, one herb does one thing, then it goes this way, then the other herb is like this way, and it balances out. So I have not found any side effects with them, and this company has been selling them for years. As I said, more than that, a lot of these formulas, these herbs are known for, you know, what they're doing in the formula, like these mental clarity herbs like gotu kola. And you can Google gotu kola and you'll find it. And then other herbs in there that support that, that support what the gotu kola is doing. But like that's one of the lead herbs in here. And the coca herb, which is, I think, less well known. So I also think the Triphala, you guys, hold on. This is certified organic, you guys. And I didn't know that. Right before I came on, I was watching a video from the company, and because I wanted to brush up and be able to tell you guys more about the Triphala, and they're like, oh, it's organic. So that's really good. Wow. Organic. And what I like about this company, Banyan, is they really do support small farmers as opposed to big companies. Like, I was going to mention one, but I won't. There's no need to. They really support the small farmers, and they cooperatively get their herbs. And so you're supporting a smaller company, and they really care about, for example, if an herb becomes in danger, they'll stop using it. So they really care about not just decimating the earth to make their products. Okay. And that's really important. Bevlin, I'd suggest, you know, you can do a consult with me. I put that also right below the video. I do have consults where I can, you know, give you my advice from like 20 plus years experience, whether in terms of my yoga background or the holistic study, and tell you, yeah. You never know how to do the dosha quiz. Menopausal, a lot has changed to how I used to be. Just retake it. Tracy, that's a great comment. Let me just put it in the chat if I can find it. Shoot. Yeah, just retake it. It's, believe me, you're not going to stump the quiz. The one thing I do find, you guys, with taking this, the dosha quiz, is to find your body mind type. The one thing I find is sometimes people get it wrong. Meaning, I've had someone tell me, "Oh, it said I was this type," and I know the person is not that type. I'm like, that's not. There are 3 main types, and I know that I'm like, that's not who you are. So you have to really answer the questions honestly. For example, they may say something like, your hair tends to be dry. They may say it's dry and frizzy. And it's like, you may be like, no, I wouldn't say my hair is dry and frizzy, but just look at it clinically. Okay. Seriously, just be like, huh. And, you know, be honest, like, is your skin dry? Is it dry or is it not? You know, don't take it as like a personality fault or anything, because what you say is how they determine what type you are. So this person, I'm sure they answer the questions a little bit like, you know, kind of wonky. I'm like, that's not, you're not that type. So yeah. So Tracy, yeah, you're menopausal. They have a wonderful product. I hope you guys can still hear me. For menopausal women called, it's something women's formula that is also really good. I recommend it to clients and friends. Like, I think it's women's formula. I don't have it now. I don't have a bottle here to show you, but it's also at Banyan Botanicals. It helps with things like hot flashes. So maybe I'll do a separate one on that. But because I wasn't having any problems with that anymore, I don't have that bottle to show you. I haven't taken it in a while. But there is a women's formula that's specifically for women in perimenopause and menopause that I highly recommend. Genuinely, like I tell friends about it. So yeah, take the dosha quiz. I'm just looking for, yes. Oh, of course. No, I get you. But I have a question in the reading space. We all have all 3 types. Like I'm pitta, vata, kapha. Yes, we all have 3 types. But when you say you're tridoshic, you're saying you're literally like balanced. you're equally those three types, and that is very unusual. So is that, oh, you're welcome, Tracy. Yeah, ask me more questions if like what specifically is happening for you menopausal. But the reading space, yeah. Are you saying that you're evenly those things? Because that is very unusual. Oh, okay. That's harder to balance, believe it or not. She said yes in the chat. That is harder to balance because if you're Pitta, like you're Pitta type, you know that's a certain type, it runs hot. It has certain traits and you can balance that. But if you're all three, yeah, that's unusual. That's unusual. That probably feels good to be all three. So you kind of have the benefits, but also the negatives. Start to explain. Each type has positives and then possible things that are more troublesome for that type. So this isn't just about like, oh, I'm this type and so interesting. Oh, you literally can help you predict, like for instance, kapha types, you guys. Kapha types are earth, I think it's earth, water also, and they're the people who are very heavy set, typically thick people, maybe tall, but they're definitely like big boned. Even if they're kind of may look slim, they're bigger. They will tend to have more trouble with the lungs and mucus issues. So knowing your type, goddess, in this system can really help you be aware of when you're going out of balance, where the West, they won't understand that, and you can actually kind of balance yourself back. Okay, so that's why once in a while I'll let kapha. Oh, will you get, yeah, you might get kapha imbalanced, right? Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm a Pitta type primarily, with Vata. I'm Pitta Vata. And yeah, it's fascinating because each type has certain specific, like literally specific things they're good at. For example, Pitta types are typically very good at speaking. It has to do with they have more fire in them. And so they tend to be the types of people that would put themselves out there and be speaking and be actors and actresses. And it's really fascinating. This is Ayurveda I'm talking about for those of you just joining. So yeah, let me just see if there are any more questions. And I have one, and let me just see what you're saying here. I will get out of balance. Huh? Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm so nice to have you in my audience, the reading space. I love that because I do feel like I'm introducing this to a lot of my audience, and I think it's just like, what is this? You know? So yeah, it sounds like you really know a lot about it. Yes, you take the Triphala. So you guys, here is somebody saying that, yeah, she uses the Triphala. We can get kapha type, especially in winter. We can get kapha imbalance, eating too much cheese, too much dairy, things that are a little too heavy for our systems. So it's just a beautiful system. I think I will make a video about it. Like I said, it doesn't tend to get as many views as like a chakra video. And so that tends to make me not make it, you know? But Tahira says, make a video. And I'm gonna think about it. Yes, tridosha is definitely unusual. So you guys, the links that when I don't eat right, exactly, goddess. And this is what I'm trying to stress on my channel, right? I don't want to just give you affirmations. I want your life to be balanced. I want you to be healthy. And so a lot of our illnesses, okay, really hear me. Those of you who are here, we've got 15 folks live right now. Those of you in the replay, even Western doctors know most of our illness has a huge stress component and a huge lifestyle component. I'm talking 70–80%. For example, your father or your mother could have a disease and you're like, oh, well, it's heredity. They are finding that, like, say twins, it might turn on in one twin and not in another. Or why do, this person's family has high blood pressure and this person too, but one of them only gets it. Lifestyle is important. And I really think that as a community, we need to understand nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save us. I've been wanting to say this for like 2 weeks. Spirit is just telling me to say that there's nobody coming to save us. The medical system, may save you when things are really, really bad, right? Emergency or trauma, our medical system is excellent, but for lifestyle, for stress, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. So let me read this. Donna, thank you for your comment. Please, with info, herbal support for menopause and perimenopause for a loved one, all the women in her family go through menopause early. Right. Well, there's a lot to that. So what is your question though? I mean, as I mentioned for that, well, there's a lot to that. I think there's some real shamanic, like that. She could say, well, everybody in the family, that's heredity, but there might be, as in many of our families, some trauma on the women's line of their, of their sexuality. There might have been abuse in previous generations. You know what I'm saying? That I believe spiritually can travel through the line of women where it's almost like the trauma is passed down. That's one thing I would say, but also someone who's more Western minded would say, well, gosh, it could be all, it's dietary. They probably eat the same, right? Our families, we tend to eat the same. And absolutely, there are probably dietary things that they're doing that are also influencing it. So stress, trauma coming through the family line, Donna, as well as dietary things like, oh, this is how we eat. We eat this type of food. Maybe it's high in fat, it's high in sugar, and it's just normal. And so, yes, you get the same that the mom got, that the grandma got, because there has not been a change. So, yeah. Yeah, redhead, exactly. Thank you, redhead. Yeah, exactly. So Donna, yeah, I hope that was helpful. She can come for she can come for a session with me, because obviously that's really huge. I don't know specifically what she's having, but there's a lot you can do. Yoga, meditation are honestly the first things I'd recommend. They're really, really powerful. We underestimate, because meditation brings your mind, body into balance. And the stress, the stress that's messing up women's hormones, meditation starts to cut that. So, and that's free. So there are things that can be done, but we have to realize nobody's coming to save us. Okay, so redheaded honey, thank you. Yes, Ayurveda videos. Not as I know, and that's my problem, redheaded, because I want to talk about it. I'm really into it. I'm looking around. I could grab a bunch of my books off the shelf on Ayurveda, because, as I said, it's a sister science to yoga. But people are just they don't. YouTube is a search engine. A lot of you don't know that. So something has to be popular, and then if there's a video and it's on a popular topic, they'll pull it up. But if the video could be great, but if nobody's searching for this, they'll just push it down. Nobody's searching for it. So that's how YouTube works. A lot of people don't kind of get how YouTube works. So yes, redheaded honey, it sounds like you know about Ayurveda too. So I feel like maybe I should just drop it, but it's very important, especially for holistic health for women. It's if we can understand it, we can stay healthier, right? Can stay healthier. There's no guarantee of anything, and we're all under a lot of stress right now. So thank you for your comment. Absolutely. Ooh, Tracy. Okay, Tracy says, it is up to us now. Right. I believe we can, Tracy. I do. I don't see them as curses, because when I hear the word curse, to me, it's like I'm giving too much power to the outside thing. But, you can feel like it's like that. It can feel like a curse. Absolutely. And indeed, it may be a curse. Who knows, back in the day, right? But we've all, there might have been rape in the line, or an abuse by men in the line, or by women in the line. Maybe they're abusive mothers. That trauma, like I said, I think there's actually studies now showing that trauma, even if it's not talked about, the offspring seems to somehow have it. I mean, I always felt that, but they're doing studies now, is all I'm trying to say. Yes, and epigenetics. Yes. I know, I know the word, and I know a little bit. I know, what's the guy's name that talks about epigenetics? But yeah, it's just common sense to me, that if your mother had trauma, even if she never spoke to you about it, or you didn't consciously, but you have a sense. You just have part of you is just nervous around that, whatever that thing is, or that situation is. Absolutely. Yeah. So women are searching for more holistic ways to help themselves. They are, Tahira. But like I said, I feel like Ayurveda, especially in communities of color, I don't think it's pretty well known, but I don't know. I go wherever the information is. I don't. So I'm willing, and especially just as a yoga teacher and as someone who's, I'm older too. So when Deepak Chopra wrote his first book, I did read it, right? So some of you may have not even been born when Deepak Chopra was writing about just like our, higher self. I mean, this is like early stuff. And then it also links with, being in balance with the planet, with the plants, with stuff that you may kind of now take for granted. But like Deepak was one of the early ones, especially in terms of Ayurveda. I'm saying yes. But yeah, women are searching, Tahira. They're absolutely searching. They are. Yeah. Let's see another great comment. The trauma is passed down because the body keeps score. It's cellular. I can't wait to read the book about it. Brene Brown has one, but there's also a book. The book is The Body Keeps Score, redhead. That's what it's called. The Body Keeps Score. I'm pretty sure. And there's also a book about trauma that is really, really renowned. Hold on. Let me see if I can look it up to share with you guys. It's something like Tiger something, and it's about trauma. Tiger title, book about trauma, Trauma. It's really, really good. It's by a psychologist. Waking the Tiger offers a new and hopeful vision of trauma. It views the human animal as a unique being endowed with an instinctual capacity. It asks and answers an intriguing question. Why are animals in the wild, though threatened routinely, rarely traumatized? So yes, it's called Waking the Tiger. I'm going to put the title here in my chat. It's a very, very deep book about how one of the little things I know about it from people telling me about it is one of the things is that shaking, because he talks about how when an animal escapes death, like literally, right? We've all watched like National Geographic where they show, the wildebeest is being chased by the lion, right? Okay, and the wildebeest escapes, and so this is the book I'm talking about now. We'll say like the wildebeest will like shake, literally like shake a little, and then it's like, and do whatever it needs to, and then it's kind of back to normal. And so he kind of is like, how can we as humans process our trauma and so we can go on, so we're not like walking around like super traumatized. So yeah, it's called Waking the Tiger, Goddesses. Check that out. And I believe he's a psychologist, and it's just a very well respected book. So yeah, any questions about the herbs, the stressies? Last chance. I'm going to show the Triphala. You say Triphala, I say Triphala. And the mental clarity. I'm telling you, I'm loving my mental clarity. What I do also, Goddesses, sometimes, again, quick recommendation, if you do smoothies, or I make typically like a hot herbal, it may have a little green tea. It may be kind of like a chai, because chai is actually good for your digestion. I made a video about that. People barely watched it. I'm like, chai is literally medicinal. Ginger, black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom. These are literally medicinal in that they help break down mucus in the digestive system. They help your digestion. Okay. Chai, that's why chai is drunk. It's not just the flavor, it actually is also antibacterial. It's really good for your digestion. So when I'm making a chai, sometimes I'll literally just break the tablet, especially the stressies. I'll put it in there and just blend it up. Because you know how they're always trying to sell you these like really expensive, like drink formulas. Like I think there's something called like Chikava, or I'm sure it's great for you, whatever. And they've put every single herb in it. I also know you can take it when you do that, you're taking them indiscriminately. That's not good. So I'd rather I've chosen what I'm taking. I break a tablet and I put it in the hot latte. I put it in my high-speed blender and I drink that, and it's delicious with dates. Triphala. Okay. So I would say, in my opinion, yes, Bevelyn, absolutely. And you should not be having colon polyps. Are you okay. How can I explain this? If you have them already, then I don't know. They may tell you no fiber. But the thing is, what would have prevented them in the first place was, I'm pretty sure, was to have a lot of fiber in your diet. So, yes, I would try it. Ask your doctor, but again, the doctors are not they're not really trained in this. So do what your doctor says, because I'm not a doctor. Um, but I would think the Triphala could be helpful. Again, I have to be, I can't like make claims because of the way the medical system is in the country. And I don't know what else is going on, but yeah, you shouldn't have polyps. I'm pretty sure that I've read that that starts to happen when the diet, you may not have had enough good bacteria in your whole system and or enough fiber. I'm really curious. Have they told you what they thought caused it? That's what I'm always interested in. Like Western medicine, if you'll tell me what the cause is, I will have faith and and respect. But often they're just like, oh yeah, well, take this and you won't feel the pain from the polyp. So, Bevelyn, I'm really curious. Have they said, well, your sister has it? Okay, but as I said at the beginning, often family eats the same, but also, yeah, there can be familial, almost like weakness, right? Like maybe in some families, oh, they have heart issues. So yes, there's that element of possible heredity, but a lot of it is also, is there trauma through the line and it's a particular type and it expresses in this particular organ? Again, that's a holistic perspective. It's really hard to talk about on YouTube because it sounds very, it's like, but this stuff has been studied and it's very hard for me to explain it in like 1 minute to answer your question. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Wow, yeah, Tracy has her opinion there. Oh, it's your sister that has it? I see. Do you know if okay, got you, Bevelyn, I got it now. You're saying, yeah, you don't have it. Do you know, does she eat a good amount of vegetables? I mean, I have a sister, you guys. Like, I mean, she will fight you. She's like, I don't eat vegetables. I don't eat vegetables. I'm like if it's green, she doesn't eat it. I'm not exaggerating. I think she says, well, I eat potatoes. I'm like, no, I'm talking about like collard greens, kale, chard, you know, green vegetables, high in nutrients. She's just like, I don't eat that. And as a result, there are definitely some problems. Okay. There are. You know, and what do you do? Tracy, thank you for saying that. Yeah, rewatch it from the beginning. So, Bevelyn, she does eat okay, a good amount, because that's the other thing. I've been also watching a lot of Dr. Berg recently. He talks about intermittent fasting. Now, I mean, when he says the amount of vegetables he's talking about, and that's the recommended, it's actually a lot of vegetables. Most of us do not eat that amount of vegetables. So I would also, yeah, I would really be curious that she does. And then if she does, what's the rest of the diet? Is there a lot of sugar? Is there a lot of fat? What is the quality of the food? Yeah. And then she may, does she carry a lot of weight? I'm curious. Oh, okay, Bevelyn. I'm sure, I would think that her diet, just by virtue of that fact that you just shared, wouldn't be necessarily healthy, because I think it would be hard for her to deal with this particular issue you're just sharing that she has, and also keep a good diet, because most people with like normal stress have a bad diet. So if she has this particular um, you know mental health issue, I would imagine it would affect how she's eating. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. Yeah, yeah, because like, yeah, well, if I ask anybody, they'll be, oh, I eat vegetables. But if you watch what they eat, if you saw what they ate for 3, 4, 5 days, even if they eat some, it's not the amount recommended. Because the amount, like, it's a lot of food. Like Dr. Burr was talking about half your plate being vegetables, half your plate. Who does that? Nobody does that. We're lucky if a third of our plate is vegetables. But yeah. That sounds like, yeah. So any questions about any, also my last couple videos? Oh, Tahira, let me just see what you shared. I just take pumpkin seeds. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Oh, early menopause. Usually early menopause to hear. Are you under a lot of stress? Are you under a lot of stress? I'd be curious. Oh, nice, Donna. So you make some blend yourself. Yeah. Again, Western herbs are fine, but I like them in a blend. I don't. The only herb that I commonly use and drink as a tea that is plain is like chamomile, because you can give chamomile like to babies. Not recommending just in case, but you know, chamomile is that mild. I find chamomile keeps me nice and like a steady, calm energy. So I particularly just as my regular drink, not as like herbal medicine. I'll drink chamomile. So yeah, I love chamomile. Yes, I've taken. I'm just reading all your comments now through Oprah. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any last questions? Quiz about a year ago. So links to any of these herbs are right below the video. And I hesitated because there, there's the comments. I can't put them there till the video ends, but they're below the video if you click like right under the video. There are links to the stress ease, the Triphala, the mental clarity. And yeah, and the dosha quiz, I'm gonna put it up on the screen and it's in the chat now. And those of you watching the replay, I have it under the video as well. This will tell you whether you're Vata, Pitta, or Kapha type. And it's really wonderful, you guys. I would not recommend it to you if it weren't, because it gives you lifestyle stuff. If you're having trouble sleeping, whoops, I dropped out again. If you're having trouble sleeping, it'll be like, okay, this is the herb for your type, or this is the digestive problem, you're Pitta type, we have a Pitta type herb for that. So yeah, I recommend taking this dosha quiz. The link is below. Let's see. And let me just see if I'm thyroid issues, flight or fight mode for many years. Yes. Yeah. So Tahira, do yoga, meditate, and it will be a really great help. Really great help. You have to take things into your own hands, so that what we need to do is understand that the doctors may be able to give us what they know, but honestly, you guys, a lot of Western doctors, if they told their patients, can you start exercising, the patient will be angry at them. I'm just being very honest with you. I've only realized this recently. So a doctor is under a lot of pressure from pharmaceuticals, from the insurance companies, you guys, okay? They have a lot of pressure on them, and some are even afraid to recommend anything herbal. And that's why, like I said, I even hesitate. Like if you see me hesitating, it's because I cannot make medical claims, right? And I don't know your full condition, whatever, but some of these doctors are very afraid to even say anything, because I believe they can like go after them, like their board can go after them if they don't stay in line. I know we see some doctors who kind of do, but I'm not quite sure how they're always able to. I know my sense is that a lot of Western doctors, not only do they not know about it, they don't want to recommend certain things because they think that would be unethical. But they don't have training, so they don't know about it. And it's outside of the Western medical system. They're not trained in herbs. They're not even trained in a healthy diet, you guys. Did you know doctors take like a week? It's like a ridiculously short amount of time to talk about human diet, when the human diet is huge and they get very, very little training on that. So our medical system is for based on a model of when they're sick, we'll help them, not let's help people not get sick, right? And I think we have to change that, and that's starting to happen. People are like, I just want to stay healthier. I don't want to have to go to you when I'm having like renal failure or osteoporosis. Right? We don't want it to be like when things are really bad. As we all know, when something is a smaller problem, it's easier to solve, right? Like a kid is not going to be a spoiled brat if you handle them well when they're 2 and 3. They're not going to be a brat when they're 9. I'm sorry, I had to bring the kids analogy because. So let's read what Tahira says. Thank you. I've started yoga. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Do all of that. It's going to blow your mind. It should already be. You should. Tahira, have you noticed changes? Have you noticed your stress level? I really want to know. Is anybody who's doing yoga, what have you noticed in your stress level? Yeah, oh, you're welcome, African Rum Punch. Yeah, you have a great week as well. And remember, you can, links to the herbs are below, and you can book a consult with me. And I could put together even help you figure out what kind of yoga to practice, what kind of meditation to do that is more specific for you. Mind is calmer, yes. If your mind is calmer, your body's going to be calmer. The hormones eventually, it's a, it's like it has to kind of trickle down. But yes, your mind is calmer. I'm so happy to hear that. Absolutely works. Absolutely works. Yes, it really, really does. So goddesses, let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone. I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank Tahira, African Rum Punch, Bevelyn, Tracy, Redhead _honey. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? The reading space. Yes, thank you very much. The reading space. Yes. These are just the folks who commented. Vintage Sims. And before I go, again, consider becoming a member. We're going to have Goddess Circle coming up this week, I think Wednesday. Goddess Circle is my once a month themed circle for members. This month, the theme is joy. What are we doing to have more joy in our lives? I also do other little things. I think I'm also for members doing yoga on Saturday once a month. And if I get more members going, I will do even more. But right now, also because folks are busy, I don't want to schedule a lot of different things that folks, if they're not going to attend. Goddess Circle is one of the perks if you become a channel member, either here or on Patreon. You can just click the join button here. I have 3 members now on here. I'm going to thank them. I have about 24 members or something like that on Patreon. You can join in either place, whichever is easier for you. And yeah, you get Goddess Circle once a month around the time of the full moon. In fact, we're meeting on full moon. So I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. And we'll get a live yoga with me and just occasional other just random sharings, little perks. So do consider that. I really do appreciate your support to just keep the channel going. If you've watched videos for years, consider becoming a channel member for a couple months, So you're welcome, Tahira. I think it starts at $3.99. So I think that is actually very affordable if you get benefit from the channel. And so, yeah, I'm going to sign off. It's 4 and have a beautiful week. If you are on my newsletter, I do a card for the week of the energy of the week. And so to join my newsletter, you go to my website, intheflowofmagic.com, right? Let me pop that up. If you go to my website, a pop-up should come up that says, do you want some meditations? And if you sign up, you'll be on my email list. And I send that to my tribe every week, what the energy of the week will be. And that is free. Mwah. Love you guys. Stay blissed and blessed. Bye-bye.